Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, viewers. As I made a video of some common mistakes in reading Quran earlier in Ramadan, which included Hamzatul Wasl and Hamzatul Fasl. After making that video, I've got a comment from someone who is saying how it is going to be difficult for non-Arab then to understand the Arabic fi'l, which is called a verb. Sometimes as an ayah will start with an alif, and sometimes it's difficult to know whether we should start with a or u or e. So today we will inshallah talk about this, and there is a good technique to understand this. Okay, let me go back to Surah Yasin, as it was mentioned in Surah Yasin, which I showed last time. Surah Maryam. That's here, Surah Yasin. Okay. If you go to Surah Yasin, further down. Yeah, that's the ayah. Ittabi'u. Alright. How would we understand it is ittabi'u, this word? That's the word which was a bit problematic. Not only this, you will find these kind of beginning in Quran obviously many times. So this is called a form of basically it's called a form of an order, which is obviously a verb, so in Arabic way. So now there is a way to recognize, if I start from this ayah, how to say it. Should we say uttabi'u or attabi'u or ittabi'u? The rule is, when we see the second letter of the alif, okay, the second letter is ta here. When we see second letter has fatha on it or kasra underneath it, we will put a kasra underneath the hamza. So we will say ittabi'u. Okay, if it was tibi'u, we will say ittibi'u. Okay, but when there is a dhamma on top of second letter after alif, we will start with uttubi'u. Okay, with u. Hamza will have a dhamma as well. So the rule is very simple. When we will find any word which is a fi'l, which is called a verb, and starting like this, okay, and to recognize whether it's a verb or not it's very simple. I'm going to tell you. You will most likely find a waw and an alif together, or you will find just an alif at the end. When a word starts, when it is a verb, you will either find waw and alif at the end of the word, or you will find just a waw, or you will find just an alif. Okay, either they will be combined or one of them will be there. Okay, but again I will say these are not the close measurements of recognizing a fi'l. It's actually sometimes it differs from these explanation as well. So the best thing is you always listen to recitation of the Quran. Okay, and to identify quickly, whether should I start this one ittabi'u or attabi'u, the simple way to identify it is, when you see the second letter has fatha or kasra, okay, then you put a kasra underneath the alif. When you see a dhamma, then you put a dhamma on top of the alif. I think that is now everybody can understand. But remember, no fa'al ever starts with attabi'u. Okay, no fa'al will ever start with a, like hamza will not sound like a. Okay, unless it is the Hamza Fatha, which is the question, like A'attakhidu. A'attakhidu is here. We can see A'attakhidu. I'm gonna pull it a bit up. So this is A'attakhidu. You see A'attakhidu. In here, this Hamza Fatha is a question. A'attakhidu min duni. A'attakhidu. A'attakhidu meaning should I hold, or do I hold? Do I hold? Do I hold? Okay, so that's the question form of Hamza. For a Hamza which indicates that it's a question. Okay, now I'm going to something which is different than that. As I explained, the Hamzatul Wasl when it comes to the Hamzatul Fasl or Wasl when it comes to the ayah, beginning of the ayah, and when it is in the form of a verb, how to start it. I think you understood. When the second letter after alif, when the second letter after alif has a fatha on it or kasra, we will always put a kasra underneath the alif. When a word has dhamma at the second letter of alif, I mean a second letter after alif, then we will always put a dhamma on top of alif. Do not get mixed with this thing. It is not a dhamma. This is not a dhamma. It's a mark of swad, okay, which is telling that this is Hamzatul Wasl, meaning you will make mursalin tabi'u, you can make them together. That is why they have put a Hamzatul Wasl. There is something important I wanted to mention for our Quran readers from subcontinent, because you know this is a fitna nowadays, that all those Arab people who are not very well studied, I mean they are not educated, well learned, they just they are not well learned, that's why they just make confusion amongst our readers. They say, okay, when a Quran comes from Indian publications or Bangladeshi or Pakistani, they say, okay, your Quran has so many mistakes, this and that, okay. I'm going to something in Surah Muzammil, then I will show you something very important, but unfortunately I can't show the Quran from our publications like from India, Pakistan or Bangladesh. You see, these fatha, dhamma, kasra, all these marks, right? All these marks, whatever we can see in any Quran, as I mentioned earlier, these are the something which were made by a person who was amongst the Tabi'i, and his name was Hajjaj ibn Yusuf. All the historian people, including our Aslaf, they call him, he was a big zalim, as I mentioned earlier, but he did a great favor for non-Arab people. He did include these fatha, dhamma, kasra to make us understand that when a letter will have this, it will make sound, when it will have fatha, it will make sound a, when it will have kasra, it will make sound e, when it will have dhamma, it will make sound u, and when it will have this mark, then it will be sukun, meaning like you will just hold it with its before letter. When it will be shadda, then that means the letter is gonna be pronounced like double letter, okay, like here bam mahila, it was like kasi bam mahila, but kasi bam mahila. All right, now this is something to make Quran easy for the readers, for those who are not who doesn't understand Arabic grammar, Arabic language, right? Now they call it like, okay, let me show you something in here. Fir'aun Rasulan Shiba, in here in this ayah. If I read it, I will read, there are two ways to read it. Let me read it first. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فكيف تتقون إن كفرتم يوما يجعل الولدان شيبا. I stopped at the ayah. Alright, there's another way to continue with this ayah. So how am I going to continue? When their Quran, this is their publication, this is a Quran from Arabic country, okay? So in their Quran, they usually have two fathatain, basically two fathatain meaning two fathas, okay? Shiban. Now if I want to make together, I mean continue with this ayah, then I will, let's say somebody doesn't know from our country, they will say, even so many Arabs, they don't even know, honestly, so many Arabs don't even know how to connect this. They will say Shiban, then Sama'u. How to connect it? Shiban Sama'u. Shiban, then how are you gonna say this alif? Okay, the solution is in our Quran in Bangladeshi, Pakistani, and Indian, our aslaf, our ancestors, have told the publications to put a noon al wasala, basically which noon will make it together, make together with this word. So they usually put instead of this fathatain, they will put a noon with kasra. So it will be shiba nissama, shiba nissama. So when you see the noons, a small noon usually, a small noon is written in our Quran. So noon has a kasra on it, I mean underneath it. So when you see it, you just read it automatically, shiba nissama. Ba has a fatha, and one fatha turns into the kasra of nun. So shiba nissama, easily it's understandable and readable. Now the question is, including a nun here, will it be tahriful Quran? Tahriful Quran meaning changing the Quran from its form? The answer is no, of course not. If you say this is changing Quran, then I would say, well, fatha, dhamma, all these marks which we have put here, these are the changing Quran as well. If you say just putting a nun for the readers to make it easy for them to understand is going to be changing Quran, then these are changing Quran as well. Why don't you have complain about this? Allahu Akbar. It is not going to be changing Quran. It's just something to make the reader understand easily how to read it. Okay, so that is why I would recommend our subcontinent's people to buy those Qurans which are published from our countries, from from subcontinent, from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, because they have all those necessary symbols for us to understand easily. Okay, now lots of Arabs, even in my masjid, I have faced so many people asking me about these questions. Like even in Surah Muzammil, there are so many other surahs has these kind of things where you need a nun al-wasala here. Nun al-wasala doesn't actually mean a nun al-wasala. It actually indicates that there was a sound of that kind of sound, right? So you're changing this sound. I mean, you are holding this sound and continuing with this. So when you do that, it automatically transforms into a nun. So you say shiban is-sama. It was shiban, then as-sama'u munfatirun bih. So to make it together, we will say shiban is-sama'u munfatirun bih. So I was going to say, so many Arabs, they don't even know how to connect this. So many people asked me how to connect it. I explained it to them. Okay. And so many Arabs don't even know so many things, honestly. It's not about being Arab, you know everything. No, you need to know your grammar as well properly. Okay, so shiban is-sama, when you make them together. When you just read separately, then you say as-sama'u munfatirun bih. There is another thing which is very important as well. I wanted to explain a light focus on lam al-qamariya, lam al-shamsiya. Lam, you know the letter lam, I mean, this, if you look at al-muzammil, okay, ya ayyuhal muzammil, ya ayyuhal muzammil. Okay, this, if you look at this al-muzammil, it is alif lam mim za mim lam. Okay, al-muzammil. So now Arabic people, they just kept, I mean, grammatical way or tajweed way, you can say, we have put two names for that. One is lam al-qamariya, one is lam al-shamsiya, to identify which lam is qamariya and which lam is shamsiya. It's very easy. You know, when we say al-qamar, okay, al-qamar, okay, let me go to Surah Ar-Rahman, then you will find al-qamar there. Okay, it will be easy to make everybody understand. Surah Ar-Rahman. Okay, it has shams as well, the word shams. Okay, ash-shamsu wal-qamaru. Okay, now there is one thing, that this is lam for the word shams and this is the lam for the word qamar. So Arabic people, just because of these two examples, they made two, like they distinguishes the lam. Okay, so the rule of the Arabic grammar is tajweed is when a lam, okay, when a lam comes as an alif lam, okay, as an alif lam with the word, then will we pronounce it all the time? The answer is no, not all the time. Only we will pronounce the lam when the lam comes with a letter of qamari, meaning all those letters after the lam, if they have any harakat, meaning dhamma, kasra, fatha, then that time we will always pronounce that lam, okay? But when the second letter of the lam will start with a shadda on it, then we will straight hold the letter, rather we won't pronounce the letter lam. I mean, you understand what I mean. I meant when a word start with alif lam, okay, then we will pronounce the lam only when the second letter of this word has any harakat, meaning dhamma, fatha, kasra, okay? And we won't pronounce the lam when the second letter has a shadda on it. We won't pronounce it at all. So in here the example is ash-shams, so we didn't pronounce the lam. Wal qamar, let's forget the waw, and if I start from al-qamar, I will pronounce the lam, because this is something which is telling me that the second letter has a fatha on it, so it's a haraka, al-qamar. I think it is understandable now. Now if we go to an-najm, forget about the waw for now and look at the an-najm word. Why did I say an-najm? Straight I went to the nun, because nun has a shadda on it and lam doesn't have, nun has a shadda on it, and it is the second letter. That is why I'm saying an-najmu, not al-najmu. Okay. Similarly, in here was sama, as-sama. Okay, it was as-sama because of the alif al-wasila and waw here, which is the wasila as well. Okay, let's forget the waw and say as-sama. I'm not pronouncing the lam because sin has a shadda on it. Okay. Al-mizan, I have to pronounce the lam in here. If you look at al-mizan, I will have to pronounce the lam because the second letter after lam has a kasra, which is a harka. So I will have to pronounce the lam. Okay. So many examples. Al-wazn, I will have to pronounce the lam because waw, the second letter, which has a fatha. Okay. Al-ard, look at the al-ard, okay, which is al-ard because the second letter is a hamza which has a fatha on it, so al-ard. Wal-nakhl, the second letter has shadda on it, that's why I'm not going to pronounce the lam. Wal-nakhl. Okay. Wal-hab, al-hab, basically it's al-hab. So I'm pronounced the lam because second letter has a fatha on it. Al-asf, pronounced the lam because second letter has a harkat, meaning fatha on it. Al-rayhan, I'm not pronouncing the lam because of the shadda on the second letter. I'm saying al-rayhan. Okay, there is a common mistake from the Arabs, especially the brothers from Algeria and Morocco. I'm not attacking anybody again. These people, they make a big mistake to call our names. Let's say somebody's name is Abdul Rahman. They write it Abdul Rahman, Abdul Rahman. They don't even know that because of the Arabic grammar, Abd is mudaf and Ar-Rahman is mudaf ilayhi. Okay, do not look at this at the moment because I'm not talking about anything from the Quran right now. But it will be, if you want to join it, attach it with Quran, it will be in Quran as well. You will find so many examples like that. But I'm just, in general, I'm saying Abdul Rahman. When we write the name Abdul Rahman or Abdul Mannan, we need to understand when it is lam al-qamariyya, when it is lam al-shamsiyya. You need to apply this method, which I just earlier told you. That when it is lam al-qamariyya, we will pronounce the lam. Let's say Abdul Majid, we will pronounce the lam, saying Abd al-Majid. But there is another thing. It can never be Abd al-Majid because Abd al-Majid doesn't give any clue of Abdul Majid, honestly, because grammatical way it has to be Abdul Majid. So it's the Arabic people's mistakes to say Abd al-Majid or Abd al-Rahman, Abd al-Rahman or Abd al-Majid. When you start the word, if there is nothing else before, then you will have to mention as Abdul Rahman, Abdul Majid, because Abdu is mubtada, okay, and mudaf. Basically it's the mudaf, and mudaf's usual position when there is nothing before it, it will have to have a dhamma at the end of its harf. Okay, so abdu, abdul majid, abdul rahman, abdul quddus, abdul hayy. Okay, but when you do a nida meaning calling somebody, ya abdul rahman, that time harfu nida is ya. So after the ya, the mudaf of abdul rahman, which is abd, will be changed into a fatha, ya abdul rahman. Okay, ya abdul rahman. So there is another way. Let's say somebody is calling somebody, and if they do not want to say ya and they are saying abdul rahman, that means they have a mahdhuf ya there, meaning they actually pronounced ya there, but it didn't sound. That's why they are making ya abdul rahman. But again, I will say, do not make any confusion to non-Arabs talking this way, because it's your mistake. You keep it within yourself. All right. So please remember that lam al-qamariyya and lam al-shamsiyya, it is applicable even in general talking. If you do not apply it, that will mean you don't have any knowledge of Arabic grammar. Okay, I think that is clear to everybody, and inshallah next time I will make some more videos. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Please like and share, and do leave a comment, and if you find this video was helpful, share it to others. Jazakumullah khairan.